And gold is up this week, hitting a 3-week high this Wednesday. And our next guest says this uptrend is likely to continue and may even push the metal back above 1,300. Joining us now is II Trader's Chief Market Strategist, Bill Baruch. Bill, good to have you back on the show.
Thanks for having me on today.
So let's pull up that gold chart, Bill. The metal's still trading above its 50-day and 200-day moving averages and continues to hit higher highs, as you've pointed out. So gold above 1,300, is that a possibility now?
Oh, yes, it's a big possibility. In fact, I expect it. The chart technically has been so constructive all year long since the late January, early February breakout. And even on this pullback down to 1201, as Fed sentiment said they were going to hike in June in 50% chance by July, the market never closed below a key support level at 1205, 1208. So it continued to be so constructive. Now the market's reversed higher and held trendline support from the December low, and it looks as if it's really setting up to make a higher high and make a run towards 1400 in the longer run. On top of that, silver has had such great price action as well, finding its trendline support and breaking out above a trend line that's holding gold back. Now, the key thing that really focused on for gold to get above 1,300 and maintain price action above there is that silver and gold work in tandem, and they both work as very bullishly when they do it together.
So the key number for you right now on the gold front, Bill?
1267. 1267 was hit today, and there's a trend line that comes in there. That's also the 618 retracement from the 1308 to 1201 lows. The market needs to close out above there, and if it can, then we can see better price action to move it towards 1300. Obviously, there's going to be some key resistance right above 1300 as well.
Well, it's really been an interest rate story here for gold. You know, will the Fed hike rates or will they delay them? What's your take?
Well, in the long run, I don't think it's much of an interest rate story as it is a yield story, and yields are not going higher for longer. But really in the near term, it is going to be an interest rate story. Is the Fed going to hike? Now, when the expectations for the Fed to hike pick up, then gold takes a bath. That's what we saw a couple weeks ago. The market stabilized, but the reality is that looking back to last year when they didn't hike in June, they were not able to hike until December. And really, as the data started, jobs data was bad and a couple weeks ago, or last week, but coming through here is the data going to start getting worse as it was the first quarter, and is it going to make it difficult for them to hike again? And as that perception takes place, gold is going to make them run, I think, above 1,300 and towards 1,400, especially if they don't hike in July.
Well, Bill, it's also been a dollar story, and it's also an election year, so we're most likely to see volatility on the dollar front. What might this do to gold?
Well, first, the most interesting thing about the dollar is that even if they do hike, looking back to December, gold was nearly $200 higher within 60 days of that first hike. And I don't think that's going to change much. When the expectation of a Fed hike picks up, gold does take that bath. But it's the perception of the hike. Once the hike does take place, then gold is able to have that relief and move higher. So if they actually do hike, then I think gold can continue higher after taking a setback. Now as well, once we go through a hike, go into a hike cycle, the dollar does not maintain higher levels. It actually moves lower. So I think that's an interesting take on what to expect from a hike. But on top of that, yes, the election is right around the corner. And I expect to see volatility related to the election coming into the dollar. And just look right now at the British pound relative to the Brexit. And we could see dollar volatility pick up, even if the dollar does go higher, the volatility itself will affect gold, and ultimately, I think gold will make its run to 1,400.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Kitco's Gold Report.